G'day guys, Ronny Dahl, Four Wheeling Australia. Welcome to Modified. The 25th of January in 2015, I released a show on YouTube on my channel called Modified Episode 1 with my good mate Torbs and his Single Cab 79 series. So do you want to tell these people here why this is a special episode of Modified?
Why? Because I was number 1, now I'm number 79.
Yeah, how did that work out? Episode 79?
Perfectly.
79 series. How did that happen? We didn't plan it at all, did we?
No, not at all.
Episode 1. What has happened since episode 1? Welcome to episode 1 of Modified, where we share with you four-wheel drives that have been accessorised and customised for everyday use and four-wheel driving. Oh man, I just cringe looking at myself back in those days. I know you got to start somewhere, but far out. That was fucking terrible. Welcome to episode 1 of Modified. So I introduce you to the owner of this vehicle, good mate of mine as well, Torben. Mark, how you going? How you going, mate?
Good mate, how are you?
Here again we have a D22 Navara, a Y62 Patrol. Finally we have a Prado. We have a giant metal beast here called a Ram. Hey bro, can we shoot a Modified?
Yeah, just wait a second, mate.
Neil, bring it in, mate. It's an L300, you muppet! Barwork protection, take it away, mate. Roof rack time. Lots of comms. We're talking serious tyres here. Alright, so we're underneath. Well, why do we call under here anyway? I don't know. It's under the hood. Why a hood? Because your nana wears a bonnet. Let's check out the inside of the wagon. Interior time. That at the time, the intention was to build on it and maybe get to episode 10 or something like that. I made a joke with Torbs that, oh, I wonder who will be in episode 10, episode 50 and episode 100, joking about it. And here we are, 99 episodes later, 7 years later as well. It never mattered what was on the vehicles. It could be products that I would never use myself. It's not about me, it's not about my opinion, it's about the vehicle that this person has brought on and wants to show the full drive community. That's what it's all about. Thanks for watching episode 1 of Modified. I hope you enjoyed it, and the purpose of these videos is so that you guys, when you go out, or you guys and girls, when you go out and get a vehicle and you want to set it up, or you want to know what to do, what mods might work, what they're for. We're hoping to make these videos so you can learn from them. And here we are with episode 100 on our doorstep. And in fact, I've already filmed episode 101 and 102. So the show is still steamrolling ahead. I find it very difficult to specify which Modified episode is my favourite, or my top 10 for that matter. So here is a montage of the episodes that I just found really interesting, or really liked the people I was shooting with. Here we go. Harry, how you going, mate?
Good mate, how are you?
Good. We've been hanging out for 6 days. How you going?
Yeah, we're well acquainted, it's all good.
This area we are at is pretty damn nice. I'll put it on the
Very
screen now so you can see. Beautiful. Got some random hillbilly floating down the river there. Don't know who he is. That's Murray. He just keeps drinking our beer. Your beer, thankfully. And here we have a very special rig, an 80 series that's had a lot of stuff done to it. How's your turning circle?
Like a super tanker. We made a ute out of it and we extended the wheelbase, 500 mils.
This thing honestly handles like stock.
Yeah, it drives awesome.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
You look at the height, right?
Yeah.
and you would not expect it to drive like that.
And the big tyres and the portals and the offset and 6-wheel drive, and it looks like this massive monster, but it's, mate, it is awesome to drive.
Right here, we have a beast of a machine. This is an ex-military 6x6. So this is the original cupboard you've modified, or?
Yeah, this is one of the cupboards that I've modified myself and put it in my location where I wanted it.
This particular vehicle behind us is a budget build.
All the materials of the bed are leftover materials of the construction sites we worked at, so we didn't pay a single cent for the materials, basically.
Are we there yet?
Mate, you're in a Land Rover now, not a Toyota. We take a little bit longer to get there, but we usually do make it.
Oh, I can tell you.
You could tell us.
Giant turkey. Hang on, I'll do that again. This is the 130. And there is a lot of stuff going on here, so let's meet the owner and find out. How does it feel being on this side of the camera and not the other side?
Yeah, that's a bit different, mate.
Good morning.
Welcome to New South Wales.
Oh, cheers, mate. 1, we're in Arizona. 2, we have this really cool Jeep behind me. And 3, the special guest, Brad.
Ronny.
How are you, mates?
Great, man. So good to meet you.
This is awesome.
Freezer, so it's just a 50-litre Waco, so that's always in there for the frozen stuff.
Do you have party ice with you? Because that's a lot of freezer.
A what?
Party ice.
What's that?
Party ice.
Party ice?
Yeah.
I don't-
Ice blocks, bag, ice bag.
Party ice?
Yeah.
I don't know you call it that. I don't have ice blocks in there. Because I don't drink a lot. Water tanks as well. So they're 220, so 40 litres just sitting there.
I hope you weren't thinking I was referring to something else.
I don't know what you're talking about. Party ice.
Ice blocks.
Oh, the ones, the like lolly ones.
No.
To cool yourself. I have them in there.
No. You go to a survey, you get like the party ice bag. Ice bags. Party ice.
Who wants that knows what he's talking about. He doesn't know.
I got 2 side lights, which is under the awning, so when I open the awning, I use them for camping as well. And also I use them for party.
Party.
Yes, they flash a light.
Strobe lights that are different colours.
Party.
A lot of content.
A squirrel. A squirrel, sorry. Alan! That's Steve! I don't know if you've seen that. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. We don't have squirrels in Australia.
Cheers to that plug, mate.
Yeah, cheers, mate. It's not a plug.
Cue plane.
Yep, cheers to the plane. Bloody hell. 17. Plane number 17.
4th? I don't know.
3rd?
I lost count
I don't
after
know.
the snaps.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Oh, yeah. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Yeah. Modified episode 26 was an interesting moment. Bennett and Felix, 2 German backpackers, they contacted me via Messenger. They gave me a whole list of their Pajero, how many mods they'd done to it. So I turn up, and at this stage, in Modified, it hadn't been a flogged out vehicle yet. It hadn't been like a budget vehicle. I know that people ask for a budget build, and to me a budget build back then was like, you're not putting too much on the vehicle. I turn up, and there's this flogged out Pajero, and I was kind of panicking on the inside, and we were about to shoot their vehicle. They were so excited. Anyway, the more I looked at the vehicle, the more I realized that, hey, this is actually possibly one of the best vehicles we've shot yet on Modified at episode 26. And it ended up being one of my favorite episodes out of the whole Modified series so far. So out of the 99 episodes, episode 26 is one of my top favorite episodes because of the way it is. I mean, look at this thing. They've bolted down recovery tracks to the bonnet. They've just done anything that they can, anything that they have on them, make it work, and then go touring around Australia.
Sock, not from Repco, from Kmart, but it does the job. 2.25 meters sand flake I picked up on Gumtree for $40, and it's just bolted straight through the bull bar with the rubber from a shock absorber, so it sits straight, otherwise it'll be on the piss. Put a lift kit in because it looks stupid on 30-inch road tires without a lift. So we've put 4 new shocks in at first from the wrecker for 20 bucks each. All the materials of the bed are leftover materials of the construction sites we worked at, so we didn't pay a single cent for the materials basically. So this is some old MDF and some tin fleshing for a house. This is structure floor. All the hinges and everything are garden brackets, and yeah, didn't pay anything for it.
Hats off to these guys. Bennett and Felix, if you guys are watching this, I'm very curious to know what you're driving right now. I kind of doubt it'll be this thing still 7 years later, or 6 years later.
Audio Jungle.
We now have the tally montage of all the different vehicles on Modified.
Audio Jungle.
What the F, Jay?
Audio Jungle.
And there you have it, a 200 series Land Cruiser, finally. Beautiful HJ 47.
Yes, that's it.
That's the first 40 on the channel.
First 40 on Modified.
Patrol.
Aboard a gate! A gate!
Hey mate, is that a solid axle in your Colorado? Mate,
Should be alright, hey?
I don't know how you got that so clean. You've just gone through all that mud.
Yeah, I know.
That is incredible.
I must have gone quick enough. I think most of it came off on the way in.
For those interested, the production, how do we make them? Well, in the early days, I got my old man to help me. So he was mainly manning the camera, and I'll man the second camera if we had 2 cameras. And we would try and squeeze in 2 to 3 vehicles at a time. And it was hectic. It was a hectic workflow. We'd start really early. We basically start from sunrise and we'd finish at sunset. Every time when we did so many vehicles. It wasn't much downtime, I'll tell you that. Then we kind of switched down to just making it 2 vehicles, and we found that the detail and the B-rolls and the quality was much better, and we got much more out of it. And then later on, we started filming just 1 vehicle. So since episode, I would say, early 70, in the early 70s of the episodes, that's when we started filming 1 vehicle at a time, and that was it. Because we could get so much more detail. It was much more fun to shoot as well, because that actually affects the video. Where's my coffee?
So what's the go? Does Ronny normally take this long? Like, what's the procedure here?
Yeah, no, it usually takes this long. He hasn't had his coffee yet.
It's an L300, you muppet!
When it's such a hectic workflow, you're just thinking about the next thing. So nowadays, it's a much more relaxed environment. We get a much more better production, but it does cost us about $2,000 to $3,000 per modified episode since episode 70 something. That is why we have sponsors. This episode of Modified is sponsored by the Terrain Tamer eStore, the biggest stockist of original OEM parts for 4-wheel drives. Even vehicles like this. And they're helping out a lot because it funds the cameraman, it funds my editor, and then of course I get it back in the end, and then I do all the little polished bits. I pull some bits out, add some bits pieces in that are missing, and then boom, it goes out to YouTube so you guys can watch it. So it's not all sunshine, rainbows and unicorns. There's a lot of effort behind it, and a bit of cost too. The top 10 most viewed. We'll start at number 10, work our way up. I'm going to do a bit of running commentary along the way. So coming in at number 10, we have a Hilux, N70 Hilux. This thing was pretty freaking kitted out, I got to say, with the whole, what do you call it, the canvas canopy on the back. Cool rig, I'm not surprised it's up there. Coming in at number 9, we got episode 16. Now, FJs in general are very popular on Modified. Every single FJ that's been released has got a ton of views. Now, this is Andrew from Fantastic Adventures. Completely seriously rigged up vehicle. Coming in at number 8, we have Andrew St. Pierre White at episode 45. This was a really fun shoot to do. Now, the first edit I did, the first cut was 2 hours long. I managed to condense it down to 1 hour. We cut a fair bit out. Coming in at number 7, which is episode 8, Nissan Navara. Who would have thought a Navara? I've got nothing against Navaras, but this Navara doesn't have a lot done to it, but it was made for a weekender, and I think people appreciated that. It didn't have all the awnings and the tents and all that stuff on it. It was just made for weekenders. Coming in at number 6, we got another Hilux. An SR5 Hilux, also a white one. That's got to tell you something. There's 2 Hiluxes in the top 10 of all viewed modifieds. Coming in at number 5, we have the 100 series FTE. This is Anthony's 100 series. It is a serious rig. One of his tires actually blew off the rim when we did that shoot. He got a bit too excited. Coming in at number 4, we have our first Unimog, and this was episode 34. Yeah, 34. All right, ladies and gents, we're now at the top 3. Coming in at 1.2 million views in 3rd place, we have the Black Knight. People frothed over this vehicle, absolutely loved this vehicle because of what it looks like, being a 70 and also having those ridiculous tires on it, the Maxxis Trepadors. Another funny thing was, people thought he was a giant because when we filmed this, I had the low ground, he had the high ground, and he is taller than me. He's significantly taller than me. But this made him look like a freaking giant.
This is my vehicle here, the Black Knight. It's 2011.
Second place, most viewed modified. We have, at 1.3 million views, the Doomsday truck. This was one of my favourite ones to shoot. Absolutely epic truck, and I'm sure you guys agree. Well, you obviously agree because it's 1.3 million views. This is the second most viewed modified episode. Here we go, ladies and gents. Number one, drum roll, 1.5 million views. We have episode 47. Justin from Patriot Campers in his 6x6 79 series Land Cruiser. This thing is off its nuts. There's only one that's more modified than the Mega 6x6. And that was the top 10, folks. The top 10 most viewed episodes of Modified. I wonder if it's going to change in the next 7 years. So there's been a lot of people that have been involved in the Modified show. Who would you like to see on a Modified show next, actually? Tell us down below. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and to my patrons on Patreon, thanks for supporting the production of Modified since the start of Patreon, and big thanks to the Terrain Tamer eStore for supporting the show as well. See you guys next time.